Well, hello everyone, and welcome to ProLine, direct from Las Vegas. I'm John Cranton, joined by Hollis Barnhart and Zach Simony. Going to take a look at the NFL Week 3 preseason, the dress rehearsal week. We're right here from Las Vegas. Everybody's on a very nice hot streak. Hollis is 7-3 with overall plays, 3-0 with his top high rollers. Jim Feist is 10-5 in the NFL preseason. Have some offers to tell you about. First, let's get right into our first game going this weekend. It's a Friday game. The Patriots are playing the Panthers. We have the game open to pick 'em 44.5, and it's early money coming in on the home team here, Carolina, at 44.5. The Patriots quarterback rotation, well, it's kind of up in the air, guys, because if Tom Brady, we know he's not going to play in September, but how much do you want to play him in August, especially behind a makeshift offensive line? You get Jimmy Garoppolo, who needs the time. On the other hand, if he gets injured behind a suspect offensive line, you're kind of screwed for for September. So, Hollis, how do you look at this game? Home field edge or coaching and quarterback depth?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I love preseason because, it's stuff like this that we get to think about. It's like a chess match, and I get information like, hey, if I find out that Brady's not playing and yet Cam Newton is going to play into the third quarter, I kind of put that in my handicapping stuff, so that's why I'm 7-3. As far as this game, Brady, he played 5 series last week. In fact, he played into the third quarter. I was very surprised to see that. In fact, I think a lot of times New England, they like to play a little stronger going into week 2 than they do into week 3, and we'll see if that happens. Garoppolo, he needs some more reps, but more than anything, I think New England, they need to test their running game. Their running game was just abysmal last week. They had like 2.5 yards per carry. They just didn't get the job done there, and I know that's where they're going to have to get the job done because I don't know if they're going to go, just throw it downfield all the time. As far as Carolina, Ron Rivera, he said, we've got to get more consistent. I think they were very consistent last week. They were horrible. Now, how did they beat Miami? I have no idea. They have no wide receivers. They were 3-13 on their third down drives. Their offense had a turnover. Their defense gave up 338 points. Cam was just 4 of 10 for 42 yards and 1 interception. He's right. They got to find out what the heck is going on. Look for an all-out war with Carolina this week. I don't think New England really cares about this game. They just want to get the basic structure going with some good, sharp passing, get their wide receivers used to Garoppolo, and then test this running game. So let's go with Carolina laying the 1 point.
All right, he likes the home field. Yeah, you're right about Carolina having an unusual preseason. Sure, they're 2-0, but they haven't really dominated. They've outscored the opposition 56-54, so they've been in all close games. This Patriot team a year ago in preseason, they were coming off a 42-35 win against the Eagles, and that was a high-scoring game, just like last week when they played a high-scoring game at St. Louis. At New Orleans, and they played poorly early on, down 21-0, and then Garoppolo basically threw the ball a lot in the second half and was dynamite. 28 of 33 passing for the comeback win. Last year in Week 3, this was a team that played the same team here, Carolina. Patriots were at home, and they just played their best game of the preseason, 30-7. They whipped up on the Panthers. They led 13-0 at the half. The first-team defense was out there playing great. They finished up with an edge in yards, 405-271. They were 10 of 15 on third down. Brady was 17 of 21 passing over 200 yards. So Belichick often comes out with his best players in Week 3, and he certainly did a year ago. So, Zach, that's who Carolina's going up against. Undefeated Panthers here, 2-0. On the other hand, are they going to be carrying it all on Friday night?
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one anytime we're talking about preseason. Hollis had some great points there, but I think I'm going to lean with the Patriots on this game, and I actually expect this line to move before Friday. We're talking on Monday early in the week, so there's the -1 on the Panthers side with the home edge. But, yeah, Cam Newton, I think he's struggling a little bit out there, and he's going to be a little bit more rustier than the Patriots quarterbacks as that trio that they have. We don't know how much time Brady's going to be on the field, but I think Garoppolo, the extended time he's had on the field preseason game 1 and 2, is going to help him out in this third game. You mentioned that New England whipped them last year. And I've seen some, just the way the coaches have acted from the Patriots side of things in the preseason game 1. They gave up a big touchdown play, and Bill Belichick was automatically talking to the defensive coordinator on the sidelines. What happened on this play? The game they just played a couple days ago, they were down the majority of the game. They kicked a late field goal to win the game, and also you see Tom Brady on the sidelines doing a nonchalant little gesture. didn't really mean much, but they care each and every game. That New England Patriots team, doesn't matter if it's preseason or regular season. I expect that to have a little bit of edge this week on Friday against the Carolina Panthers.
All right, well, I'm going to take a look at the total because we've seen a lot of high-scoring games in preseason the last 2 weeks. However, I'm going to look at this game as a defensive battle for several reasons. First of all, both teams' starting defenses haven't played very much, and they're finally going to get a chance to play. And you got a Carolina team that they have played these first 2 preseason games without 3 of their top 4 defensive linemen, Charles Johnson and Kavian Short. However, both these guys are going to be playing this game. And the offense for Carolina is generally a ball control, conservative offense, and we know they lost their top wide receiver. That was a tough blow last week with Benjamin out. And then you got a Patriots team that they're going to be playing their better defensive players. The offensive line hasn't played a lot. I can't imagine a situation where they want to risk too much health-wise with Brady and Garoppolo, because as I mentioned, you know Brady's not going to be around. We have to believe that for September. So you got to get Garoppolo some time, but you don't want to get him hurt either because they have Ryan Lindley behind both of these guys. They had to pick him up just last week. Certainly doesn't know the playbook. So I'll be looking at more of a conservative game plan, better defensive game plans than we've seen from either of these teams. And I'll look at Carolina, New England under the total. All right, let's go to a game taking place on Saturday for you. Before we get there, though, this is going to be the Eagles-Packers game. If you want to get free daily plays as well as a sports report from Jim Feist, you can go to jimwins.com, and it's all on a recorded message.